They brought the treacherous world of crabbing to reality TV fans everywhere, but these Deadliest Catch stars lost their lives all too soon. Here are the cast and crew who will be deeply missed. The death of fisherman Todd Kochutin in February 2021 at age 30 was a tragedy for two of the vessels featured on the series. In the season 17 finale, we watched news of Todd's accident aboard the Patricia Lee spread to the other boats in the area. Many of the men featured on the series have worked on more than one vessel and have friends and colleagues aboard different boats. It was devastating for the whole production when Kochutin was confirmed to have passed.
Well, I'm going to do my best. That's what I'm here to do.
Kochutin died from injuries sustained in an accident with a crab pot, one of the 800-pound cages used by the fishing vessels to secure the catch. His commercial fishing career had just begun, but even so, Kochutin had faced his share of hardships. According to the Anchorage Daily News, he was the last surviving member of his immediate family, having previously lost his parents and two siblings. Just 36 hours before the Summer Bay and her crew began the winter 2021 season, Wild Bill Wachowski received some terrible news. His longtime deck boss, McGlashan, had died of an apparent drug overdose in a Nashville hotel at age 33. Nick was more than a colleague and friend. He was an integral part to the vessel's day-to-day operations. As Nick's captain and mentor, Bill turned any blame toward himself, wishing he had done more to help.
We're going to toss Nick's hook one last time. It was definitely his forte.
McGlashan's serious struggles with addiction were well known both to his crewmates and to fans. He briefly left the show in 2017 to seek treatment and soon returned newly sober. Hailing from a long line of crab fishermen, McGlashan began working the Bering Sea at age 13. He began his career as a deckhand on Deadliest Catch, but quickly became deck boss thanks to his work ethic and depth of knowledge. Summer Bay deckhand Mahlon Reyes started out as a greenhorn in season 8 of the show, first on the Seabrook and then on the Cape Caution before crewing the Summer Bay vessel in season 16. He was only featured in about a dozen episodes of the series, but he was by all accounts a talented fisherman. Reyes died in July 2020 while he was in his hometown of Whitefish, Montana. Off-duty between seasons, he suffered a massive heart attack and was rushed to a nearby hospital, never to regain consciousness. Initial reports did not list a cause of death beyond cardiac arrest, but a toxicology report released several months later confirmed that Mahlon's heart attack at 38 years old was caused by an accidental cocaine overdose. One of the series' first breakout stars was Captain Phil Harris of the Cornelia Marie. After a brief appearance in Season 1, Harris took center stage starting on Season 2 along with his sons Jake and Josh, with Josh taking over the Cornelia Marie after his father's death. TV stardom came late to the chain-smoking Harris, who had been working on fishing boats since the age of 7. He had started out crabbing as a teenager. Operating out of Seattle, he ran his first vessel at age 21, making him the youngest captain on the Bering Sea at the time.
Hey, I appreciate you guys being out here. It's a big help, boy.
In January 2010, as the show was filming its 6th season, Harris suffered a massive stroke while he was in port in St. Paul Island, just west of mainland Alaska. He was flown to a hospital in Anchorage and placed in a medically induced coma. Despite emerging from the coma with some brief signs of improvement, he ultimately died of a brain hemorrhage in February 2010. At the end of Season 6, in which the story unfolded, Josh returned to the Cornelia Marie to pick up right where his father left off. Harris was 53 years old at the time of his death. After Paul Harris's death, the Cornelia Marie was briefly helmed by Captain Tony Lara. Lara made his first appearance on the show halfway through Season 7, but vacated his position as captain by the end of the season.
Hey guys, I think we're gonna hold off until the tide switches.
No sense in whacking a guy for codfish.
In addition to his years as a crab fisherman, Alaska native Lara also ran his own freight company. He died of a heart attack in August 2015 at age 50, years after a stint on the show while attending the annual Sturgis motorcycle rally in South Dakota. His death was mourned by Deadliest Catch fans and stars, including Josh Harris and Wizard Captain Keith Colburn, who tweeted, "Saddened to hear the passing of Captain Tony Lara. Top-notch chef, great captain, and even better friend." Fisherman Blake Painter died at the age of 38 on May 25, 2018, more than 10 years after his last appearance on Deadliest Catch. Painter had previously starred in Season 2 beginning in 2006 and been a part of Season 3 before leaving the series. The expert crabber and former captain of the Maverick was found dead in his home in Oregon.
Listen to that! Whoa! It's cooking! This is crabbing weather!
Prescription meds were found on the scene, which led to speculation about the cause of death. Painter had previously been in trouble with the law over drugs, having been charged with unlawful possession of heroin and reckless driving after a police officer reported seeing him smoking the drug while at the wheel. He faced a number of other charges over the years, including recklessly endangering another person, criminal mischief, and DUI. Ross Jones appeared in just a couple of episodes in Season 16. A crewman aboard the Saga, Jones was one of 3 greenhorns setting sail near the Russian border at the start of the winter season. Though Jones wasn't a longtime crew member, fans of the series remembered him well and mourned his death in June 2022 on Facebook. Jake Anderson also posted about Jones's passing on Instagram, writing, "I loved Ross Jones. He made me piss my pants on several occasions. To Valhalla." The young sailor was survived by his girlfriend Chloe and their young son. No cause of death has been reported. Time Bandit deckhand Justin Tennison came and went in Season 7. Tennison was an experienced fisherman and Alaska resident for nearly 3 decades. It's entirely possible that Tennison would have continued with the series for a number of years had it not been for his untimely death. He was found in a Homer, Alaska hotel room in February 2011, right after the end of the winter season.
I'm not a greenhorn. I'm just new back. Just green, yeah.
While TMZ initially reported on alcohol and marijuana being found in the room, it soon became clear that these substances were not the cause of death. An autopsy found that Tennison died due to complications from sleep apnea. According to what his cousin and shipmate Eddie Wekulani told The Hollywood Reporter, Tennison's dying wish was to be cremated and, quote, taken out on the water for one last trip. He was 34 at the time of his death, leaving behind 2 kids. Nick Mavar was one of the longest-serving cast members on Deadliest Catch, appearing in 98 episodes between Season 1 through 17. From the series debut in 2005, Mavar worked on the Northwestern, serving as a deckhand to Captain Sig Hansen. During the course of his time on the show, viewers watched Mavar help his nephew and new recruit Jake Anderson recover from an addiction to drugs and alcohol.
All for one and one for all.
Mavar had been missing from the show since his appendix ruptured while on the Northwestern, and he was airlifted to a hospital. At the time, doctors found a tumor that was determined to be cancerous. Mavar started treatment immediately, but was unable to return to Deadliest Catch, ultimately suing the owners of the Northwestern for lack of proper medical care. According to a rep for the Bristol Bay Borough Police Department, Mavar died of natural causes after suffering from a medical emergency at age 59. Jake Anderson later confirmed to the New York Times that his uncle had suffered a heart attack while climbing a ladder and had fallen onto a dry dock. In 2016, Discovery Channel launched the spin-off Deadliest Catch Dungeon Cove. The short-lived series followed Oregon crab fleets fishing along the Pacific Northwest coast, also known as the Graveyard of the Pacific, for prized Dungeness crabs. Though the show only lasted for 6 episodes, the spin-off lived up to its name, with devastating tragedy striking by episode 3.
The U.S. Coast Guard is still searching for missing fishermen after their crabbing boat capsized last night.
The episode followed a number of fishing vessels in real time as they set off amidst a dangerous storm in Coos Bay. Unfortunately, one of the smaller vessels, the Eagle 3, was taken out in the choppy waters of the bay, where winds hit 30 miles per hour and unrelenting waves reached 10 feet high. Having been reported as being thrown overboard, 3 crew members, 31-year-old Josh Paulus, 37-year-old Danny Matlock, and 52-year-old Blaine Steinmetz, tragically lost their lives. Miraculously, Captain Glenn Burkow was able to escape from the capsized boat, swim back to shore, and ultimately survive. He recalled to local CBS station KCBY,
I remember thinking, you got to swim, but at that time it didn't matter because here come another wave, which picked me up and body slammed me onto the jetty.
He was eventually able to pull himself out of the water and then walk an incredible 4.5 miles while exhausted and freezing in order to find help. If you or anyone you know needs help with addiction issues, help is available. Visit the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration website or contact SAMHSA's National Helpline at 1-800-662-HELP. 4357.